Hey friends, it's Ó'hAllmhuráin, Osberla, Richard Ó'hAllmhuráin, and I hope I'm in the frame. I've been having some problems with this video, so I'm shooting in low res. I won't bore you with the technicalities. What I wanted to talk about is mainstream media, you know, like RTE, BBC, Sky News. And I wanted to talk about what a lot of garbage the whole thing is. They're peddling this very simplistic view of life and death, you know, and they report on deaths every day. And it's like a Hollywood version of reality that they're selling, and people go for it. It doesn't work like they seem to be suggesting to us that it does work, and that is the old Tony Soprano, bang bang you're dead. Life and death, I have first-hand knowledge. It's a much more complicated matter than that. I also wanted to talk about mythology, because it seems to be dismissed in this age as fiction. You know, mythology, folklore, legend. There's the legend of Arthur, of course. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the kingship, but this kind of stuff, in this age, you can get a grasp of. You can get the gist of Arthurian legend in 15 or 20 minutes on Google, you know? Right, so the mainstream media, you know, the kingship, Tara's kingship, Ireland. Here's the shocker, right? It's still happening. I won't go into too much detail. I wanted to talk about the journalists. Right, this is a good one. My belief, based on things I've read, things I've channeled, and you know, when you channel, you get truth from you know, higher realms, right? So yeah, Tara and the kingship is still around, but what did I channel now that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, right. I covered this in my last talk. It got 11 hits. I was happy with that. This one might get more hits, you never know. I've one which is up at 3,400, another at nearly 3,000, so, and another at 1,100. Anyway, I think, based on what's come to me from, as I say, you know, the heavens, these journalists, right, and not just journalists, also in the medical profession, law, they're generally our old friends. We call them the Dracos, and they're 5% of the population, but they've all the big jobs. It's this conspiracy, and it is a criminal conspiracy. You know, they lie, they're violent, they're dangerous, you know, these guys. But yeah, the good thing is, if they want to tangle with one of us, they have to come into our density to do it. So there's nothing to fear from these Dracos. They are parasites, you know, they feed off our energy. They call it chi. And yeah, the chi, like the kingship, it comes down from the heavens. Yeah, mythology, there's Arthur, there was, well, history, of course, like mainstream media, history has been completely whitewashed. We don't know what the Gaelic kings were fighting for. You know, Brian Boru, O'Neill, O'Donnell, the warlords of the north. So yeah, so history, you can't trust it, but you can get information on the internet. And I wanted to talk about like the fall of Atlantis, because that's about the time that the Dracos got here. So yeah, apparently they corrupted some of the high priests because they brought technology with them. They came in spaceships, these guys. You know, a good source of information is John Lash. So John Lash tells the story of Sophia having created the earth. So again, you know, the ancient gods, they're still around. Yeah, I was like halfway into a degree course, and I had some problems with one of the Dracos. I'm still mulling it over. I was never a huge fan of doing things about things that already happened. I'm super keen about doing things about things that are yet to happen. Anyway, that aside, I don't know if this video is of any interest. Mainstream media, they're not your friends. Start your own media outlet. That's what I'm doing. Like, I've got, I don't know, about 50 videos, and each one tells a small part of the story. And of course the story is that your boss is a 5,000-year-old space alien. Yeah, it's a weird one. You won't hear it again on Sky News. You know, they kind of like to portray the male as this kind of goofy, stupid fool that watches like you know, Dallas on rerun, stuff like that. Something should be done, and the internet, they don't control it, of course, so there is still some, you know, in fact it's better than that. There's a multitude of truth out there. I'd probably wrap it up. Yeah, I'm working on a more snappy delivery, because some of my videos, meandering wouldn't be the word for it. I might leave you with a little mantra that I worked on, and it goes: chi chi chi, chi chi I chi chi. Namaste. Restart.